Good morning, everyone. I am Andrew Knuckles with the Gold Squadron podcast and the Birmingham Barons podcast, filling in for Dion Morales today. And I am joined by...
Dion.
And we are...
Not a Morales.
and we are here at the Day 1B of the European Championships.
The other continentals.
Yes. So it is basically the equivalent of Gen Con, and this is round one. So we have a pretty interesting matchup here. And Dee, why don't you break it down for me?
Yeah, for Connor, we've got I want to say now classic a quad T70 squad, all with... three Red Squadron experts, all with heroic, and of course the mandatory auto-included S-foils.
Yep.
And Pava with R2 Astromech.
So you got a little bit of regen in there.
Yep, and the foils. On the other side, this is where we're going to have to parse pretty hard. We got a loaded Han. Usually the scum Han isn't fat. This guy's...
Oh, this is a fat Han.
He's carrying some weight. He's got trick shot, Lats Ratsy. All right, so these slots are so it's both crew are Lats Ratsy and Maul. So there's Force on there as well. Dengar Gunner. There's Contraband Cybernetics for stress nonsense, engine upgrade, and the Falcon title as well. And then after all that, we've got Fen Rao with Lone Wolf. We know what he can do. And the autopilot drone, which looks docked at the moment.
It does look docked. No, it looks like he actually he did deploy it for system phase. And he's basically what he's doing is he is essentially
adorable.
Cooking the autopilot drone.
Yep.
To get it to where it has one charge left, and then he can use it as a maneuverable bomb that can block things.
Yeah. Oh.
So in this list comes in at 185. So a super heavy bid.
It's substantial for a squad of this type. It would have been interesting to see that Fen go up against Jedi or Imperials.
Yeah.
Sixes.
Yeah. So the bid is essentially meaningless except for extra points that he can hoard if he needs to run away for this specific matchup, just because we have a bunch of I3s. And yeah, so let me get some colors on the board here for our lovely T70s so we know who is who. Let's see, we're going to do green. This guy is green right here. No, that's Jessica.
And neither player really wanted any sort of head-to-head.
Yeah, well...
Especially with that drone.
Well, and the goal here for Tommaso's list is obviously to bring them through the rocks, use Han's ability to really obviously leverage his pilot ability with trick shot and everything like that. It's gonna be an interesting thing because you definitely do not want to go into 4 arcs of T70s with Han. He even with Maul Force and Lats Razzie, he will absolutely take damage.
Since some of these crews are less common, do you want to hit what Lats and Lats crew and Dengar Gunner?
So the way Lats works is actually the exact same as it was in first edition, except that she doesn't add the result anymore. She just changes the result. So assuming that your opponent you were defending from someone that is stressed, you can spend that stress to get to basically change one of your dice to an evade. Then we have Dengar. Whenever you are shot at, you can choose to basically spend Dengar's charge. They can now choose to either remove a green token or allow you to roll a die to see if they take damage. And they have to be in your arc for that.
So we've got this interesting jockeying for position. This is always the opening dance.
Yep. So it is kind of interesting. We already see we're going to see a clipping of the rock here from Han. Whenever you see that, you're like, oh, you're just going over debris. It's a 1 in 8 chance that you're actually going to roll a crit.
12.5%
But
happens.
it can still happen. It can still happen, and I've seen it happen so many times. Yeah, so we really wanted to. We were talking earlier this week at XTC to Dion, and he was like, we're like, you never get to play in actually any of these tournaments, and we said like, look, you flew all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to come to this tournament. You have to play. Like you have more than able people that can run the stream and make sure that that he still provides the content that you guys crave.
He didn't need much arm twisting, really.
No, yeah, and then Darren from the UK was nice enough to actually bring a list.
The Granger.
Yep, bring a list to make sure that he had something to play that wasn't my list that I brought. So
we ended up with this very odd Gold Squadron stream.
That is not run by DM today.
Brought to you
yeah,
by Curled Paw Creatives, supported by Minoc. Oh no. Oh, I'm so excited. I slept 90 minutes. That was a slip up by the Fly Better podcast. Woo.
Yeah, so we were
got Holland and Watkins both roaming around here somewhere. Oh, that was a terrible slip up.
So last night the English took us out, and
yeah, they took us out.
Dion and I were drinking until about 2 a.m. and D, Tippett, and Richard and all them, they were out until about 5 a.m. and he rolls the crit on the shield.
And it happened.
You just take it on the pilot or the
should be the drone.
Yeah, you just get rid of it on the drone. But that's an unfortunate circumstance right there, taking the crit.
Marcel was in rough shape. Dragging him this morning.
And don't worry, we will get Dion on stream at least one time today, assuming that he doesn't drop out, which I don't think he will, because he doesn't get to play in these events, and I'm assuming that he's going to play all the games.
I see that he flipped down a Han shield.
So he flipped down the Han shield, which is an interesting call. I think it doesn't actually matter, assuming that he just keeps the drone, because it's all the same.
Sure.
I still probably would have done the drone though. So you're a little bit you can throw it out a little bit more freely. We do still see some jockeying over here. We're probably going to start seeing some turn-ins with all of the T70s here, and then Fenn is probably just going to 5 straight and bug out, or just 3 hard and just say I'm good. I'm just going to stay.
I'd definitely do the latter.
Yep,
This is not the point in time to risk anything.
Well, and the whole goal here for Tommaso is to bring the T70s into the rocks, so Han can really leverage his obstacles. So definitely see the 3 hearts coming in here. Just saying, Fenn, I really hope that you don't come in this direction because it's going to be a bad time for you.
Face off or no?
Yeah.
4 dice or no?
Joust me. Paul, yes. He normally does that. Here we go. Choose your champion. Right or left. And there you go. 1s and 2s in the chat. Go ahead and throw them up there.
And there's the bailout.
Yep. 3 hard. Nope. I'm good. Now this will leave Han in a relatively hard position to escape from. In the I'll say the next probably 2 turns, because you're going to see the T-70s carve into the center here, and Han pretty much only has to go that way.
Right, you never want to get your big base ship trapped in the corner. Although there is a lot of space in that.
There is and he does have the engine upgrade with boost.
Right.
So he definitely has the ability to escape. It's just going to depend on how fast he chooses to go on this turn.
Another weird option would be to flip around and boost back where he came from.
Yeah, yeah, he could possibly do that, or what you possibly could do is you go here this turn, and then next turn you do the sloop, and then by that point they'll probably be around here, and you can basically choose which direction you want to go with how they commit.
Slick. Those cybernetics give a lot of options for the.
They really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you
for
get
the danger turn.
You get the 1 turn of you have no idea what I'm going to do, and I still get all my actions, and you still have the force. So the biggest thing I think with Han for the Scum Falcon is his ability doesn't give him the mods that he needs,
right,
like Rebel Han does. And okay, so we see a disengage here. He's saying, I really am not going to come into those rocks unless Fenn decided to engage me. So we may be seeing, it's possible that he's trying to call Fenn on going this direction. And if that happens, Fenn will absolutely get caught the next turn.
A more than reasonable gambit.
Yeah. Well, and he's not getting shot at. So this is the time that you're trying to jockey for position.
Is that the trap? Like, obviously, if you can just dust Fenn,
yeah,
that's terrific. But if you just nick him and then you start chasing.
Yeah. Well, if you only get 1 damage into him and you don't get points, then it turns into a much harder game. And he did the 4K. He's like, I don't play those games either.
So I do have to say they run a really tight ship here.
They do.
Yeah.
The rounds go so fast. Turn on the dice game. I mean, there's maybe 10 minutes max in between rounds.
It does feel that way. We should set a time. I'm going to time it.
Yeah, it's super fast.
Next go around.
So I think in the 4 games that I played yesterday, because I dropped out, I think I only started 1 game with everything set up and all the rocks and dials down right when they called time. Everything else I was about maybe 2 or 3 minutes in.
Right.
Whenever you start. And yeah, you definitely want to keep the pressure on Fenn here. He's definitely going to be you can't let him get behind and start getting those 5 dice shots, even with just a focus mod. Well, he does have Lone Wolf as well, so you really just don't want to allow that to happen. And obviously, we're not going to see Fenn turn in here.
So that's what you have to do against. We use the term ace so loosely all the time. In this particular match, I think it's safe to say that Fenn qualifies.
Yeah.
Even without double reposition.
Yeah, the double reposition is generally where the what was I going to say? Like generally
demarcation point.
For
the nomenclature.
For what you kind of look for to consider an ace.
When you're is the new thing brawlers? Are we sticking with that?
Yeah, he's a brawler. He's kind of like Vader, where he can hit really hard. He's relatively hard to hit, assuming that you put him in the right position, and he loves just getting into that range one and just fighting it out as long as he can.
So that's what you got to do to ships like when you're flying a whole bunch of generics.
Yeah.
You have to just bully.
Yep. Yep.
And pick your spot.
You either try and gap close or you go slow and you just keep your arcs as wide as possible to catch something and just toss, range three shots and everything.
Would you care to elucidate what you mean by gap close?
Just going fast, going in for blocks.
Gotcha.
Trying to make sure that that they have minimal options to move. Now, probably what I would have done here, instead of boosting, I actually probably would have taken the target lock. No, maybe he was still out. But I think this next turn, he's actually going to be able to get into target lock range, which is what you want to go ahead and grab, just so whenever you do have a shot at Fen, it's going to be a meaningful one.
And I have been impressed by Connor's. It's not exactly a formation. They just want to stick close for
It's kind of
Pava.
loose, yeah.
And they can go loose, but now the large asteroid that he is currently about to slingshot orbit.
Yep.
Is going to really the rear T-70's got to do a hard 2 in, wouldn't you think?
Probably, yeah.
It doesn't have to.
To get on the inside track.
Exactly.
You could probably fit a 3 hard in there as well.
Perspective.
It'd be close. They obviously have a better idea on the table. It's hard to see with a.
No, you know what? I'm absolutely with
cam.
you based on just eyeballing the base lengths. Yeah, but these guys they have to bank around.
Yep. So this is where you definitely take the target lock and try and set up those.
There it is.
Those turns, but no, he's taking a focus. And it's never really a wrong choice to take a focus. But but when you're playing against such a cagey list like this,
sure,
I like to try and set up as many mons as I can, and especially to bully Fen to say you really can't engage me.
I mean, you're over the course of a game, assuming your opponent flies well, you're going to have so few shots, quality shots.
Yeah.
So you gotta make the most of them.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so the drone is currently docked.
Just trailing.
Yep. The drone is currently docked, and Han rolled a crit on the debris that he ran over on turn 2, but he opted to take the shield on himself and not the drone. B team casters, I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, absolutely for me. That's fine. I am the greatest second tier everything in the world.
Yes. I also have to update damage. Dio normally does this, so I'm sorry. It's gonna and it's also because I'm definitely hungover from last night. I'm running considerably slower than I normally do, so give me about probably a round or two to really get into the swing of what I actually have to do to cast today.
And I'm just dead weight.
I mean, you're on 90 minutes of sleep.
I'm just waiting to press these wonderful buttons that Dion has. I was pretty queasy. Wasn't able to eat much.
Yeah, this morning.
But now it's weird. I'm hungry, but still queasy.
That's what happens when you drink Polish vodka all night.
Cherry vodka.
Cherry vodka?
It was candy. So this dance really could go on quite indefinitely.
Could go on for quite a while. Now, I still think that I still think that you actually turn in here with the T70s because you need to get on the inside track.
Yep.
Is the big issue when you're trying to catch aces. You want to be on the inside just so they can. I mean, you will eventually catch them, assuming that you're turning faster than they are. Good morning, Isofane.
ISO. Eventually.
So chat or Dion. Dion is playing Jendon with Grand Inquisitor and Vader. I don't know the exact specifics, but Palpatine's on. It's basically Palpaces.
There's sense involved, passive sensors, stuff.
Yep. So we are seeing a K turn here out of Jessica.
So
possibly we're seeing talent. Okay, so he's moving everyone. He's saying, all right, well, if you're not going to engage me here, I'll just catch you on the other side. Now, this is a relatively dangerous choice just from the fact that Fenn's probably just doing a 3 straight, and then when he sees that, he's like, oh, I'm just going to turn in and come back in this way. And because one person just has to. This game is not going to engage. We're probably going to maybe see three rounds of combat.
Let's find out. So, I mean, look at the timer. We've now chewed through 25 minutes.
Yep. And they haven't even gotten. They've only been in range 3 one time, and that was before Fenn moved.
But if I'm Connor, I'm very content about this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be.
What's the salvo ratio here?
Well, and it's the salvo is definitely there, but then also, it's going to be difficult to get points on Connor's list fast enough if there isn't enough time because there's only 2 shots coming in, assuming that Fenn even engages.
It'll be interesting to see what Han does. I'm really curious about this Han dial for the first time in this match.
Yeah.
Hey, remind me if my senile memory is accurate. The drone can eject from either side?
Yes, front or back.
Thematically, that's very odd.
It is.
Game-wise, that's very powerful.
It is. It's so. It's a maneuverable blocking bomb.
Right.
It's really good. And I think a lot of people, for 12 points, I think a lot of people don't give it enough credit for what you can actually do with it. But you have to cook it for the first 2 turns. So if someone doesn't want that to happen, they can just rush you down, and then you probably won't be able to use it.
We haven't seen it in this match, but if you ever need to really slow roll the Falcon, right? You just pop it out.
Yeah, and just bump.
Just collect it back in.
Yeah, because the way the timing works, you can have it where it doesn't even have a charge, and you can basically just keep putting it in and just making sure it just redocks by the end of the activation, because they both trigger at the same time, so you get to choose when it happens. Seeing some bumps here. Doesn't really matter. He just wants to clear that stress. And there's still going to probably be at least 1 or 2 more turns before any kind of possible engagement. So you just slow roll and barrel roll out. Yep, and there's the K turn.
Tommaso has to engineer an entry point, though.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to happen. Now, the Falcon is relatively slow, at least with the blues, but the T-70s are still not far enough ahead to catch him. You really have to turn on the inside track, and obviously Connor knows this.
If that's
I
the
would not.
position Fenn wanted, wouldn't 2 Talon have been better?
Not really. I mean, it still doesn't really matter, I think. I would not call this stalling, honestly.
Oh well, they're. Mm,
They're jockeying for position.
right. They're not trying to create and
Yeah.
exploit
Yeah.
a stalemate.
So the difference here between I guess stalling and actually like going for position, um, Connor is actively trying to engage. It's just he's choosing not to go on the inside just because like that plays directly against how he needs to engage the list, right?
And Tommaso's trying to
Trying
engineer
to
an entry
engineer.
point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's they're trying to make it happen, but at the same time, it sometimes it just takes a long time to get an engagement that feels good.
I keep wondering. So I do love how they designed the T65s and T70s
Mm-hmm.
with the differences with the S foils. I always wonder what a T80 might end up looking like.
I will probably find out soon enough, because I'm sure that the T80s will be in the new film that's coming out this year.
Hmm.
Probably.
One thing I don't like about Connor's position is that now he's got a conga line that's long.
Yeah.
He does have a couple of turns to block back up, and he's got the wings closed for that option, so
Yep.
he should be able to figure that out.
The T85 is in the Resistance show apparently.
I still
That
that first episode was so painful.
I never I did not watch Resistance, but I don't have an active way to watch it, so
I need someone to tell me which episode to start watching it from.
So we're coming down to 40 minutes left in this game. We still have Connor up by 67%, 32% for Tommaso.
I mean, that's fair in terms of if you're an investor,
Yeah.
right? Like we've seen performance from the 40s, 70s.
It's a terrifying jousting block.
Right.
Like it's a lot of dice. You most likely can't kill one before it shoots just because of the 7 health and 2 agility.
And heroic.
And heroic. I mean, like, it's a pain. And Jessica has all the rerolls in the world. So, I mean, there's a lot that there's a lot has to go wrong for the T70 player to have a really bad engagement. So it looks like we're going back out, probably so he can turn in and have a better idea of where he wants to be to see where Fenn goes, if he comes on the inside or if he comes on the outside.
I am loving your telestrator action.
Oh, I love the telestrator. I feel like I'm a Madden commentator.
Boom! Fool just got trucked. He doesn't say that, but
I don't know. I actually don't watch sports.
this is sports.
It's tabletop sports, table sports.
Listen, I've had X-wing injuries.
I mean, you know,
Physical.
it's because you're old.
It's just truth. The last hyperspace trial out in the sticks, I was waiting to leave, just hanging around the B&B, standing there, and suddenly I hurt my wrist.
So I just like Steven from
Your
our
Steven.
podcast. Yeah, our Steven. He gets sick at just about every single event, just because he has the immune system of like a gnat, and he like somehow just like every time he just gets sick, and it's just like, how is this even like how do you do this all the time?
Maybe
So, I
it's
mean,
just
X-wing injuries do happen, and I've like, I guess I just like haven't had that opportunity yet, but I'm sure it will happen eventually.
the first time I started thinking that. So my wife mocks me relentlessly for playing with toy space. Like, she runs ultra marathons and dances and does archery, you know. And she's always like, "Oh, look at I have a hobby too." As I'm packing my spaceship, she's got razor sharp arrows and such. But I claim X-Wing's a sport to her because just flipping everyone back around in the conga line.
Yep, just and Jessica's probably just gonna do the 4K here.
The regular, yeah.
Yep.
So more of a block again. What was I
Yep,
saying about?
just so I will say,
Uh-huh.
if Fenn did decide to just go this way, I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be much of an easy way for him to get out of that.
I mean,
Yeah. Nope, just going slow. Slow and deliberate is always the best way to play, especially with aces. You don't want to overcommit
until it is time.
until it's time. Yeah. Yep, and there's the barrel roll. We're going to see probably one hard next turn.
Sure. Oh, it was the first region I played in Arizona. My hamstring, I just got dehydrated. My hamstrings just seized up, and anytime anytime you're getting muscle cramps, that's clearly a sport.
Yeah. One of your guys down in from LA is watching right now.
Who dat?
Alquemi, I have no idea. So
Another 10 minutes gone without any meaningful opening.
Yep. So, yeah, like obviously, you know, this is not like the most exciting game. Dice isn't just like going crazy, being thrown, everything.
Oh, Alwyn, what's up?
And
Transplant from the Bay.
but at the same time, both lists need to have the type of engagement that they need to have, and obviously both players are very adamant about making sure that happens.
Correct choices.
Yeah. And the other, I mean, like, but at the end of the day, Tommaso has to engage at some point because he is way down on final salvo dice. He has 7 total compared to 12.
What is
not
that? Like, I mean, that's low single digits, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not a very good odd that you play against for that. So probably what we'll see, maybe, is, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of tough because like you don't want to take this to final salvo. It's just not. It's not a good way to do it.
I mean, it's conceivable that he.
It's entirely possible, but I really just don't think that it's going to be worth it.
At that point,
I wouldn't take those odds.
At that point, I think even a poor engage has higher odds.
It does, yeah. Well, and the other thing is too. Once he really, I mean, the only time that we're going to see any combat, I think, with this game is if Connor turns into the center.
Well, he's pointed there right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Tommaso's pointed there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Connor has no reason to.
So
so what Connor's doing, he's always got a board edge to the side. Like he's eliminating a possible flank.
Yep. Well, and that's what Tommaso's list is good at doing, is flanking.
Mm-hmm.
You have a turret that can just go wherever it needs to go, and then you have a missile that also can have repositions.
Why does it bear? It has guns.
It does.
Does the drone have guns?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the drone has guns. It's 2 attack dice. But I was actually more talking about Fen, because Fen is just a missile.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Also, so Funwalk, the European community has been awesome so far.
So far.
Yeah.
We're reserving judgment.
It's literally been a wonderful experience. XTC was a great time, and I mean, everyone I played against was just wonderful opponents, really friendly, and I've had a couple people ask about like language barriers and everything, and honestly, it hasn't been a problem at all.
For anyone who's played Civilization.
Oh, here we go.
Whoa.
We are going fast. Take the target. Come on, take the target lock.
Your frustration is so palpable.
Get the mods. So this is just an interesting aggressive move from what we haven't seen yet. So maybe Connor's getting impatient and just saying, "Look, we have to do something."
Connor does not have to do anything.
Well, no, he doesn't have to do anything because he's actually up if you look at the final salvo odds. However, I've seen multiple final salvos at this kind of level where like
a difference of 5 dice.
I lost one on 5 dice.
I'll buy you a drink tonight. Yep. And we'll pour one out for that match.
My brain is mush after 14 rounds of X-Wing over 3 days. Luckily, 10 of those rounds were flying the Sinker Swarm, which luckily it doesn't take too much thought process until you get into the scum. Oh, here we go. We actually are going to have something happen here. And the target lock, and this is where, if you had the target locks earlier,
correct.
this is what you want. So we are absolutely going to have shots this turn. You guys get the engagement after almost 45 minutes, or yeah, 45 minutes. There was fell at the earlier. There was an opportunity for him to get target locks on Fen, and he chose not to, and just took focuses instead. So there's not going to be a shot from Han here, but Fen is absolutely going to get to shoot at something. Looks like going after Jessica, or maybe probably the T-70 in the back. We're gonna
the one that bumped.
Put the table talk on here. So shooting at Pava. Oh, needs to roll into there. Oh, and dice cam.
Oh,
2 hits and a crit.
Oh.
Ooh.
Charge.
Rerolling 2.
Oh, brutal.
2 shields off of Pava. So check an arc here for pink. Range 3 through the rock. Ooh, maybe not.
I would
That's really close.
think it's clear, but it is difficult to tell from here.
Fen dodging what he does. Then Pava. And no rerolls for Jessica.
Oh, he went for it.
Oh.
I wish my Fang Fighters would do that.
So There we go. Okay. Now I can actually hear myself think. We had the table talk turned up a little bit too loud. D did play yesterday. He ended up 4-2.
A very strange 4-2.
A very strange 4-2.
I'll expand upon it at some later time.
It was a close last match. Very close. So we finally see some action. We've already seen one charge spent on R2 for rerolls on Jessica. Both net basically nothing. And no damage onto Fen or Han, outside of the one crit that he took from going over the debris.
So yellow is not in a particularly useful position.
You could probably Talon roll there. I mean, you'll go over the debris the next turn. But at this point, you really just need to make sure shots happen, I think. Because you only have 30 minutes left. I actually think Fen's not in a terrible position here. Now, Han's you're just gonna see Han bug out this way. Just go ahead and grab his side arc. So day 2 on Sunday is going to be just a cut. So a standard bracket, and it'll be top 16 from both days. Now, I don't believe there's enough players for top 16 for both days.
Isn't it X and 1?
Yeah, it's only X and 1s, but assuming that there were more, well, no, basically X and 1 make it, but there's just it's going to be a top 16 is what the bracket starts at.
Gotcha.
Because there's just not enough players for like a top 32, and there's too many players for a top 8.
Even with the massive numbers today?
How many players do we have today? That's actually good information to have.
I could go look.
Yeah, go look. So just going one forward with yellow here, just kind of in the middle of nowhere. He got a little bit too aggressive with that 5 straight. He didn't take an action. He forgot it. So, some of these missed triggers, maybe possibly not thinking about the target locks earlier. It is the first round of the day. There are, first round jitters. Maybe these guys aren't used to playing on stream. There's a whole bunch of factors, obviously, that play into this kind of thing. Oh, he target locked Fen. Okay, I just didn't see the token.
So approximately 220 today.
220.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
I mean, this hall is huge. We don't feel cramped at all.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize they moved over into another section.
Right.
So 220 players today. We had 148 yesterday, or something like that. 140 something. Yeah. And yeah, especially for players that have been playing in the XTC, tournament fatigue absolutely happens, and you have to, it is what it is. That's what we get for playing so many. Oh, Fen is just disengaging. Ooh. That is not a very good look.
So, as I was running away to go get that information, I was going to ask you, what do you think Fen's dial is going to be? Because it's such a key.
I don't know about that move. I think you barrel roll to the left here. And you still try and keep range 1 of green, and you'll arc dodge and get a decent range. Or you go to the right That's fine too. But the problem is he's putting himself, it looks to be range 2 of Jessica, possibly range 2 of Pink. That's going to be really close. Yep, and there's the 3 bank out of Han. Well, you don't want Fen to bug out in front of Han, just from the fact that you're going to lose Lone Wolf. Well positioned Han here, looking to do some solid multiple shots going into.
Do you think he created the Lone Wolf space?
I
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Which means that he also turned off trick shot while he was at it.
Yep.
Depending on target, I suppose. Whoa.
3 hits. 2 evades. There are the natties. Give us some natty emotes. So 1 shield onto green. Wait, I think he didn't roll enough dice.
What's that?
He only rolled 2 dice.
On defense?
Yeah.
What's the protocol here?
Ask a judge.
Are you sure it's green? The shot was at?
Pretty sure it was green.
You want me to run?
Yeah, go check. No, that looks like pink. He went on to pink. So
right.
That one. 1 crit.
I'm
Pilota. Stun pilot. That looked like stun pilot.
Fairly irrelevant crit.
And
unless somehow Fen is blocked onto an obstacle.
Yep, 1 damage on Fen.
And still no points scored.
Nope, no points yet.
But they're in the thick.
So generally the rule of thumb for streaming whenever we see things like that, it is not on us to basically tell the players that they're doing something like that they missed a trigger.
I mean, should a viewer make a phone call?
But generally, unless there's a gross missed trigger like a ship didn't engage or something like that, then most of the time we try and stay as far out of it as possible. So Fen took a stun pilot here. Not the end of the world, but I really think that he didn't put himself in the right position there.
Going wide.
So interesting call here for Connor, moving his guy all the way on the outside.
I was thinking he might just ignore the debris entirely and just
go over it.
Right.
Yeah, we loved the. I mean, I really enjoyed the team event. Did you like it? For XTC?
It was it was terrifying and exhilarating and wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, it was every match was just super hard, and I mean, it was just.
I had one match out of the 10 where that team threw their guy under the bus at me, like so I finally got fed a sacrificial lamb. I managed to, yeah. So by terrifying, what I mean is, I just don't want to let my teammates down. I don't want to let my
Yeah,
country
absolutely.
down. And we were all we were all riding the wagon that we just hitched onto our superstar Knuckles here.
I don't know about that. I mean, we ended up on the same on the same record.
Yeah. So yes, but I don't think our 7 wins were equivalent. You definitely had to deal with some tougher things.
So
More
we
free. The vast majority of my matches were basically what we deemed coin tosses, whereas you were being flung into the fire to deal with,
And
or, you know,
that's what a generalist list does, though.
right.
So we see Fen just carving in, getting ready to plaster green, and it looks like we have a target lock action for Han going into pink, the one he's already damaged.
5 double modded if he's bold.
Spending the lock, that's why you take him. Ooh. All right, rolling the proper amount of dice this time. Still taking 2 damage and a crit. Damaged engine.
Yep.
Ah, wrong one. Ooh, that's a
Fen
sad
blank.
Fen shot.
That's like the Suntir fell phenomenon exacerbated.
Oh no, that was right. That was right. Thought it was green.
Walks away untouched. So, have there been errors with number of dice rolled, or?
Or it's possible that we just didn't see the other die as well, because sometimes sometimes one gets out and they didn't reroll
There's
it.
the
So
lock, and there is, nope.
well, no
Nope.
damage to Fen.
Nope.
Lone Wolf paying off in spades, keeping those points. Looks like Jessica is shooting. This looks like a range 3 on Fen. Jessica
Charge.
probably going for the reroll. Ah,
Oh, I gotta roll, really roll that reroll.
and there's the 2. Yep.
Sometimes you get a die that just skids on the same surface.
Yep.
I think it did roll over, but
They figured out the stress
Right.
portion of it. So Han's in really good position here. He's essentially safe to take his target locks and do whatever he wants. Now he doesn't have a great entry point to make sure his ability is active this next turn.
so if that's the health on pink, we've got points.
Yes, 24 points.
Got it.
Yes, Fen only does have 2 modes. He never dies and he kills everything, or he just dies. I need to stop the poll now. Finish poll. Hide poll. There we go.
I like this collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm so used to Dion just doing all of this that, like, I know what he does, but then, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I have to do that now. He's not here.
No, that's why we have the regular viewers who
Yeah.
understand.
Yep.
What's,
Oh yeah,
what
yeah.
needs to be done.
Hey, it's like, hey, you missed that. You're right. I did. D. Yoon is my partner in crime today for commentating. Tyler Tippett and Marcel may be here later, but they were completely passed out after coming in 5 o'clock this morning. It is
They were
yes,
sawing some logs.
you're right. I need to put that crit onto him as well. Stunned pilot.
I endorse that 4K.
Yeah, that's absolutely a good call there, because Fen, you know where Fen's has to do. You'll probably see maybe a 2 bank just to guarantee that he wasn't going to get blocked, and then you can probably see him do a boost and try and actually do damage to green this turn. But the T70s are absolutely in hunting mode here, trying to get that sweet range 2 shot onto Fen. Han's ability is whenever basically you have an obstructed shot on offense or defense, you get 1 additional die. So if you have trick shot, it basically doubles itself. So you can roll 4 dice or 6 dice at range 1 if they're stressed. Like Han can hit really hard. It's just lining up those shots is very difficult, just because he's a large base and he moves so fast.
There's a interesting mind game going on with yellow.
Yeah, trying to go for the double block to make sure that if he tries to go either direction, he's going to have a pretty rough time. Now, shooting unmodded shots does feel pretty bad.
So I think if Fen Rao did go left, actually both should fit, but he didn't.
Going the too hard.
In the other direction. Sure.
And he cannot escape. And it looks like he's just going to take the focus. And so this is the kind of issue that list archetypes that run large really want to orbit run into, is sometimes they can't, or especially with the arc facing the side, you don't really get much of a clean engagement with time on target with these things sometimes.
So I thought the rock formation was pretty odd.
It's 3 hits going into green. You will absolutely take that. Just take 2 shields.
Doesn't a Han like that typically just want to orbit a Bermuda Triangle sort of situation? And
yeah, I flew Scum Han when he first came out. And, don't know if that's going to be a shot or not. Nope, he's got it.
2 dice, though.
Okay, so just the range 1.
Yep.
And Conquer Dawn basically protects all of that. Chances of you actually getting damage and defend with a focus at that point is almost nothing. Spending the reroll. There we go. Just rerolls. Taken 1. Reroll with Lone Wolf and taking 1. That is half points on Fen. That is big. Oh, and taking a hit crit, and Fen is dead.
He's gone. Woo. I was surprised to see Fen turn to the right. What would you have done there? I know I would have dialed up a 2 left bank.
Yeah, probably a 2 left bank. just because you knew that Jesse and Pink
Mm-hmm.
were there ready to pounce. Because the most important part, because if he either way, he's going to have an unmodded shot onto Fen here.
Right.
And if he's selling out for the block right here, yeah, you just want to try and bug out and just go back around for as far as you can.
Do the flyby with the high five.
Yep. So 73 points to 24 points with 10 minutes left. I actually don't think Han has enough
Juice.
shots. Yeah, he doesn't have enough shots in the game left to actually do enough points. And that does come down to them jockeying for position for 45 minutes. And that absolutely can happen. You know, sometimes time can get away from you.
I thought Tommaso had he finally did it. He got the opening he wanted.
Yep.
Pushed in, and then
the turn out with Fen here was a mistake.
Set up the hunt.
Yeah, it set up the hunt for the T-70s to really capitalize on what they do best, which is chase things.
And now Han's in the corner.
Yep. Han has absolutely nowhere to run, and he has no obstacles to actually utilize for his ability. So this is going to be, you're probably going to see some decent damage going into Han. We probably won't see any kind of, we probably won't see half points on Han, but we does still have the autopilot drone ready to bomb things. And this is actually a great channel for him to set this up on. So it does the too hard. The great thing about the drone is that you get to remove it. You get to basically pop it out of the system phase. So it's basically an I-0. So it's a super blocker. So one crit. Debating on a reroll here.
Heroic and Jess' ability are sad when no focus.
So checking to see if he's got rerolls and nothing. Spending the focus. And oh, he went for Dengar. Okay, that's what that roll was. I was trying to figure out what that was.
There's so many things.
Yep. All right, so this next turn, so no damage was done this turn. This next turn is going to be pretty interesting because if he does get a really solid auto drone bomb on this list, you could see some kind of swing. I'm not saying that it could swing the whole game, but you could see definitely a big difference in what can happen. Because you then have, assuming everyone gets hit, you have possibly a dead Pink if they pull a direct hit.
Pink is so unhappy there.
Yep, and then you have Jessica and the green, which would be down to 4 health. Just shy of 7 minutes left in the round, so we're probably going to see maybe 1 or 2 more rounds of combat. Looks like Tommaso is trying to figure out where he wants to put his autopilot drone, I'm assuming.
So when that blows, though, he'll be down 85. to.
That is true, because whenever it does blow up, he is giving them 12 points. I didn't even think about it that way.
So he needs. Yeah, I'm with you. There's 6 minutes left. Not enough shots. I don't see any reasonable, feasible way of doing it.
Yep. Now you probably will see. It has. Does the Falcon have a 3 hard? Let's find out.
Yes.
It does have a 3 hard. Okay. So system. Here comes the autopilot drone. Go into 3 straight.
Go to town, little guy.
And I think you just keep it there. Like this is the problem with dropping bombs and coordinating a boost.
Oh, magic. The drone. Come on. What is? That's a little automated robot. They like have coordinate. It's magical.
I actually forgot that they had coordinate.
Oh, that's slick. I'm giggling on the inside.
That is a really solid move there to go ahead and get that block. Jessica's absolutely taking 1 shield of damage here just from the autopilot drone.
You know, getting to see that was worth all that jockeying.
And yep, and this is the cascade of damage and blocks that are going to happen here.
So, is there any possible way to get green in there to block, right?
Yeah, there probably is. You can probably set it up to where green.
Close the.
Oh, looks like he's doing just a 1 straight. Yep, so he can absolutely barrel roll, but it looks like he did not flip over the S-foils. But that probably means that.
Does that block the 2-turn? What did he do?
Oh, he did the 3.
Oh dear.
We could see a total upset here, possibly. Probably not, but possibly.
I mean, I don't see the points happening, but sure.
You could pull the direct hit. It could happen.
No, I mean even with that kill.
Even with that, he'd have to get a really nice crit streak onto. You could get some solid damage into Jessica with some crits, but unfortunately, there's really not much he can do because he's only going to be throwing 2 dice. So he'd have to get double crits, pull a fuel leak for the first one, a direct hit for the second one.
Oh, I missed when Han changed his arc.
He changed it last turn.
Gotcha.
So
I am in full pumpkin mode. It's the morning.
not a direct hit. Fuel leak. Oh, never mind.
That's an irrelevant.
Yeah, irrelevant crit. So autopilot drone is done. Pink is down to 1. Pink has a damaged engine. He should not have a focus.
Oh, that's judge time, right?
You can just go tell them that.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I'm a spectator.
Okay, you can go tell judge.
Right. Judges. So.
So that is half points. I'm still updating the things. The stress on. No, it doesn't. He's not shooting at him. So that was on to green. And I think that was on the green. All right, yep. Stress has been taken care of. That's why you have crit tokens, and that's why they go on the board. Dion is playing today. That is why I am here and D is here.
Is a giveaway a thing? When does that happen?
We do
That's
that.
exciting.
Yeah, we give away stuff at the end of the round.
I guess it's mandatory, so anyone could ask them to
Yeah.
So just step over.
Yeah.
to apply the stress. Anyone could.
Yeah.
Just to let them know
Okay.
Yeah.
that they didn't do this because it's mandatory.
Any spectator?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean that's what we do.
Do we?
Yeah.
We don't fetch a judge?
We fetch a judge on stuff that is potentially game state changing. Like there's a level of like, well, obviously he just needs to be stressed. Like,
Okay. Wow, I feel like the worst, like, judge in the named judges.
looks like they're getting one more round in, which this could actually be really big.
Planning.
Time on the round, they get one more round in. Could see a potential upset.
Sure.
So Connor's call here is to pretty much just try and be as defensive as he possibly can.
Get that
Especially-
heroic focus.
Oh, he did get okay, yeah, he did do the Dengar. So much closer. Good catch there. Sorry, we were dealing with the stress situation, so I missed when he did the Dengar.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine that you do that in that way.
Okay.
Okay. I was just informed that I was correct to acquire a judge for that for the purposes of correcting the stress game state.
So it is possible if he can get half points on one more. Oh, and he's
And
going
that's not
out.
it.
Oh no. Should have gone the other way. Well,
That's
I think
game
that's
over.
it. Yep. Connor takes the game 85-76.
You know, if points change, maybe some other content at some point.
Let's see. Sorry. Giveaway. Here we go. Hey.
Just real
And
quick
we'll-
though, at some point those escape craft shenanigans could be special.
Yeah, I mean, like it's the auto drone can be really good, and that was a great use of it, using the coordinate to boost Han out to make sure he gets the shots that he needs, and not take damage too. Oh, no problem, man. Hey, good game, good play.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was exciting. Oh well, once
The autopilot drone was. That was great. Yeah, when you got
you
the
made my eyes
coordinate.
pop.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Ooh, look at that.
look at all the gunboats and things. All right, so we're going to do some giveaways. Our giveaway section sponsor is the Hanson brothers out of Sacramento. So they have designed a token holder. And I think they have a Kickstarter right now. They've designed a token holder that is essentially, it fits pretty much all of the tokens, third-party tokens, including my own, that you can acquire. And this is so we're giving away one of these at the end of the day today, but they have some really cool solutions. You should absolutely go check out their stuff. If you need the link to their things, you can just type in !euros, and that will give you a link for all the information of the whole event all day.
Just got the W sign
yep.
from Dion.
Dion wins the first round. And so now we're going to give away some alt-art cards. And Dee, since you are the co-pilot, you get to choose which cards. We're going to give away 4 per round. And let me pull this up. Here we go. So
These are beautiful.
yeah, I mean, all really cool alt arts. So you get to choose, and then we will roll the dice like we do in X-Wing.
I am rolling dice by pulling out this one.
Okay, all right. So we have a double-sided R2D2 crew, and there we go, crew and astromech, which is really cool. So we're going to, I think I just hit this. And the first person to win is Mieshaz. So Mieshaz. If you are in the chat and you are paying attention, all you have to do is type in !win, and that will basically put you into a whole thing. You get some information that you can put away, and there you go. You get the double-sided R2D2 crew and astromech.
Woo!
So the next one we are going to do is an Asajj Ventress card. One of my favorite pilots from first edition. Unfortunately, I haven't played her yet in second edition, but she's still one of my favorite pilots because I love her ability. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
We got a Stealth Mist.
Stealth Mist, MYST. So did you play the old 1990s Mist game? Is that why you have your name like that? !win.
Is that really a game?
It was. It was. It was a great learning experience for note taking.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Extraordinarily so. Yes.
So now we have a really cool alt art of Maul. Darth Maul, the actual pilot, not the crew card. So 3, 2, 1.
We got a Simran 1.
Simran 1. Congratulations on getting Darth Maul. Then now we have for our final one for this specific round. We have Fanatical, which is pretty cool.
I think that's my
art.
favorite of the batch of 4 I yanked out here.
Yeah, this one's really cool. So it's a good one to be the end. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Mephister?
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 Mephtister.
So
Me-fister.
!win to claim your prize. So round 2 should be kicking off here in probably about maybe 10 minutes. And we will be back then. Thank you for watching, and stick around for some more awesome Mephister.
For the B team.
For the guy's name.
Methadone.
So
Commentators.
Yep. So we will be back. See you in a bit.